So this hearing began on September 14th. And before the court made its decision, I wanted to hear from a witness. And my understanding that witness is present. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. If someone would call the witness in.
Can you tell her how you know Mr. Rodolfo Aceves?
We work together
Where did you work?
En Amazon,
in Amazon.
DX7. No, DX7. DX7.
DX7.
What did you do at Amazon?
Limpieza.
Cleaning.
Is that what Mr. Aceves did as well?
Yes.
How long did you work with Mr. Aceves there?
Como por unos de 4 a 6 meses.
Between 4 to 6 months.
Did you spend each day with him?
Cuando nos tocaba trabajar juntos 8 horas.
When we had to work together 8 hours a day.
Who did you work under at Amazon? Was that someone related to Mr. Aceves?
¿Me repite la pregunta?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, who was your supervisor when you worked at Amazon?
El padre de Rodolfo.
Rodolfo's father.
So during these 4 to 6 months, did you get to know Rodolfo and his father fairly well?
Yes.
And did Rodolfo ever do anything or say anything to you that was concerning or upsetting to you during the times you worked together?
Yes.
Can you tell the court an example of one of those times?
Como le gustaban las armas.
He liked weapons.
Cuando hicieron hicieron un simulacro, él dijo como, mira, es buena idea hacer por la matanza.
When they did like a drill or simulation, he said it's a good idea to do the shooting.
Or when you say a drill or a simulation, were you referring to a fire alarm?
Una falla.
Yes, fire alarm.
When he made that statement to you, how did you feel?
Primero lo tomé como tonto.
At first, I thought it was silly,
Comenté con otra compañera
and I talked to another coworker, and
no es normal.
it's not normal.
Was there a time when you dropped off your child at school and he was with you?
Yes.
Did he say anything concerning to you that time?
Bromeó diciendo que ya ahora sé a dónde voy a venir.
He joked saying, now I know where I'm gonna come.
Did he say what he meant when he said that?
Pues dijo como, ya sé dónde voy a hacer la matanza, y nada más le dije, cállate, no hables tonterías.
And he said, now I know where I'm gonna do the shooting, and I told him, shut up, don't say stupid stuff.
Did he ever say or do anything else like that? That worried you?
No hizo, sí.
No, he didn't do anything like that.
Do you remember what day of the week it was that the fire alarm occurred?
Un viernes.
Friday.
Did you work that weekend?
Al fin de semana me quedé.
Not on the weekend.
During that weekend, what was your thought process after hearing what he said?
Más era tonto lo que había dicho.
That it was stupid what he had said.
Cuando Cuando llegué el lunes al trabajo,
When I arrived to work on Monday,
comenté con mi compañera
I talked to a coworker
y me dijo, eso es algo muy peligroso y lo tienes que reportar.
She said that is something very dangerous and you have to report it.
Did you report it at that?
Después vino el supervisor de Amazon que necesitaba hablar conmigo.
Afterwards, the Amazon supervisor came to me saying he needed to talk to me.
Was that supervisor different than Mr. Acevez's father?
Yes,
Did you have any concerns about reporting it, knowing that Mr. Acevez's father supervised you? No.
no,
Now moving forward, do you have any ongoing concerns for yourself or your family after this is resolved?
Sí.
yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Como que él piense que por mi culpa él está aquí.
I'm afraid he might think that it's my fault that he's here.
No lo hice con una intención mala.
I didn't do it with a bad intention.
Me puso en una situación difícil
He put me in a difficult position
porque yo a él lo estimo y no quiero que le pase nada malo.
because I care for him and I don't want anything bad to happen to him,
Ni a él ni a mí.
not to him nor me.
Press the witness, Your Honor.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Hi, Ms. Flores. I just introduced myself to you in person, but we've spoken on the phone in the last few days, have we not?
Sí.
And I think we've
Yes.
spoken on the phone 2 or 3 times. And-
Yes.
And each of the times that we spoke, we talked about the same thing. If you felt that this was serious or if he was just joking with you. And I kind of remember, or unless I misinterpreted, that you didn't report it because he was the type of person that would joke all the time, correct? Something to that effect?
Sí bromeábamos,
We did joke,
pero cuando él hacía esos comentarios siempre comenté a él, eso no es normal.
but when
No,
he
it's
made
not.
that kind of comment, I always said that is not normal.
And I,
Siempre le llamé la atención como una mamá o una.
I always called it to his attention like a mom.
Y yo no sé los pensamientos de cada quien.
I don't know anybody's thoughts.
and I believe we talked about that topic on one of the conversations that we had, did we not? And I remember asking you if you felt if he was more of a, if you had taken it as a joke or something like that, and you said you weren't really sure. And I'm just trying to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you weren't really sure if you were taking it seriously or not, if you would, yes.
No sé, no
Yes.
sé cómo lo estoy tomando ahí.
I don't know how he's taking it.
Okay. Now, he has been on bond for 16 months. In about 4 days, it'll be 16 months. And he was ordered by the court to stay at home and not leave the house for anything. And you mentioned a little bit about concern for you and your family. He has not contacted you, has he?
No.
Has
No.
anyone else contacted you about him other than me?
He hablado con su padre.
I have talked to his father
Okay, and how did that come about?
Porque usted me habló y yo hablé con marqué a Rodolfo y le dije, me están contactando sobre tu
Sí.
caso.
because you called me and I called Rodolfo to tell him I'm being contacted about your case.
Y él dijo, pues haz lo que tengas que hacer y que sea lo que Dios quiera.
And he said, do what you have to do, and God knows what happens.
Y él de su parte me dijo, no estoy molesto contigo.
And he told me that he was not upset with me.
So other than your personal fear that Mr. Aceves Jr. could be upset with you, there's no indication or nothing that has happened to you to put you in any kind of fear other than you being worried that he may seek any kind of retaliation, correct?
Me han ocurrido cosas, pero yo
Things
no,
have happened to me,
yo no estoy segura quién es.
but I'm not sure who it is.
But he's never contacted you and
No,
his father's not angry at you.
no.
Okay,
No,
and,
no,
and in fact, it sounds to me like his father and the family, because I've gotten to know the family, that there's religious. And do you believe that his parents raised him in the proper way?
I don't know.
Okay. And the last question I have for you, I believe would be the last question is, when I asked you what you thought about possibly him going to the penitentiary, and correct me if I'm wrong, I recall you telling me that you did not want him to go to the penitentiary. Am I correct?
Correcto. Yo creo que es muy joven
Correct. I think he's too young.
y a veces se nos hace fácil hablar.
And sometimes we think it's easy to just talk.
Y sí, él tiene una oportunidad. Yo estoy correcta. Yo
And,
estoy de acuerdo.
and if he gets an opportunity, I would agree with that.
Okay, no more questions, Your Honor.
All right, any further questions?
No further questions.
All right, I just have one question. So you mentioned under questioning that some things had happened to you. Do you believe that Mr. Aceves is responsible in any way?
No sé.
I don't know.
All right, thank you so much for coming down.
I'm not gonna ask you any questions. I want you to speak to Her Honor. Tell her what you feel. We've discussed this. I didn't tell you what to say. Have I told you what to say? I've just told you to
No.
speak from your heart. Tell her what you feel, what you want her to know about you, please.
Mi jurado, en verdad yo pedí disculpas por todo lo que dije y especialmente los familiares de ella.
Your Honor, I really want to apologize for everything I said,
Especialmente a Ana Flores y sus familias. No quiera ponerse en terror y
especially Ana Flores and her family. I never meant to terrorize them or put them in fears.
yo estaba simplemente bromeando y quería mirar su reacción de cómo reaccionaba y
I was just joking and I just wanted to see how they reacted.
nunca quería cometer ni un masacre ni nada de eso.
I never wanted to commit a massacre or anything like that.
Fue muy estúpido
I was very
diciendo
stupid
eso y
by saying
me siento
that,
muy arrepentido por todo.
and I really regret everything.
Do you have any questions?
I do, Your Honor. Mr. Estes, you heard Ana Flores mention a event in which you went to for child school with her. Do you remember that?
Sí, fiscal.
Yes, the eight.
And do you remember telling her that you knew which school to shoot up now after seeing that?
Your
school?
Honor, I don't believe Ms. Flores said that he knew what school. I believe she testified that he knew where to go. I think that's how she mentioned it.
All right, I remember all of the testimony.
Right,
My mind's a steel trap.
okay.
So, thank you.
Fue una vez, pero no recuerdo la dirección ni el nombre de la escuela.
I only went once and I don't remember the address or the school number.
But do you remember making that statement to her?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you have another coworker named Perla Garcia?
No me acuerdo su nombre, pero probablemente sí tenía otro compañero.
I don't remember his name, but I probably did have another coworker.
Do you remember telling a coworker that her daughter should kill herself when the coworker was
No,
discussing
no,
her
no,
suicide?
get to any kind of hearsay.
Judge, these are in the stipulations.
All right, and just so everybody knows, I've read the stipulations, I always read everything and read police reports.
Okay.
And I do it when I take the plea, and I also do it when it's coming up for sentencing. I read everything again. So I've read that, and I've read probation's report. All right, but you can ask your question.
No, nunca he dicho a alguien que se debe que suicidarse ni nada de eso.
I have never told anybody that they should commit suicide or anything of the sort.
Do you remember in this case being interviewed by the police after this incident?
Sí,
Yes,
And do you recall discussing having researched prior mass shootings?
es muy complicado. Es porque en YouTube siempre hay recomendación de noticias porque
it's very complicated because on YouTube, you always get a recommended news feed
en las noticias, en los canales de noticias.
on the news channel.
Y siempre hay school shooting, massacres y eso, y por simple morbo.
And there's always mass shooting massacres and you have like a morbid curiosity.
Ese es algo que los mido, pero
And I look at them.
nunca estaba simulando si yo lo haría eso.
But I was never simulating that I would do that.
Pero fue algo como en el momento que intentaba explicar si ellos miraban que por qué estaban mirando.
It was a spur of the moment thing. I was trying to explain if they saw something like that,
Explicar que era solamente por curiosidad
and explain that it was just out of curiosity
y no para planear nada.
and not to plan anything.
And do you recall telling your coworkers that the Uvalde shooter was a hero?
Sí, pero solamente era por una reacción de Ana Flores.
But no, but that was just a reaction from Ana Flores.
Era una broma.
It was a joke.
No es mi héroe ni nada de eso.
He's not my hero or anything like that.
I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
Any further questions?
Mr. Aceves, do you realize now that you said too much that can hurt you in your future?
Too
Sí,
much.
dije demasiado. No estaba pensando en las consecuencias que podía ocurrir y
Yes, I said too much and I wasn't thinking about the consequences it could have.
ya sí comprendo las consecuencias que voy a la cárcel y nunca ver a mi familia más.
Now I understand the consequences that I could go to jail and never see my family again.
Now, you've been on probation for 16 months. And-
Counsel, not on
I mean,
probation.
I'm sorry, on house arrest for 16 months. Full house arrest. Have you ever had any violations during the 16 months?
No he tenido nada, hasta era bien precavido que no cometía ni un error para que pensaban que yo iba a hacer algo.
No, I have not committed any violations. I have been very cautious, so you wouldn't think that I have done something.
And because of that, you've lost your credit rating. You've lost your vehicle, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong in this thing. Obviously, you've lost your job. You haven't been able to go out to look for a job. And all this is correct.
Sí, es correcto.
Yes, that's correct.
And because of this, you've seen how something so stupid as saying something like that can affect you for the rest of your life.
Sí me puede afectar. Debo como casi $10,000 en total.
Yes, it can affect me. I owe like $10,000 in total.
En 2,000 en la tarjeta de crédito
2,000 on the credit card
y 5,000 en en el vehículo
5,000 on the vehicle.
y como en el tiempo eran como $3,600 por el GPS.
And at the time, it was like $3,300 for the GPS.
Can you promise the court, Her Honor, that she will never see you here again should she give you deferred adjudication?
No puedo nunca cometer ni un crimen ni ser un ciudadano honorado.
And I promise I will never commit a crime and I will be an honorable citizen.
I'll pass it with you, Your Honor.
Any further questions?
Briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Estevez, how many firearms did you own prior to this incident happening?
Solo era uno.
It was only one.
So if the police had found both an AR and a shotgun in your room, did not both of those belong to you?
No era una shotgun, era un air rifle.
It wasn't a shotgun. It
No,
wasn't their
air
rifle.
rifle, sorry. Air is a pebble gun or something like that? A pebble rifle. Pellet, yes.
It was a pellet gun or something like that.
No shotgun.
When was that AR purchased?
En el mes de febrero.
Your Honor, interpreter and petition.
All right, if you'll repeat, please.
En el mes de febrero.
MS.
Oh, sorry. En
February,
of
in the
February.
month of February.
Was that the same year that this incident occurred?
Sí, pero nunca fue intención de comprarla para planear una masacre y nada de eso.
But it was never my intention to purchase it to plan a massacre or
Tenía
anything.
19 años y quería comprarme una pistola porque cosa más me gustan mucho como mirar TV shows de
I was 19 and I wanted to buy a gun because I love watching TV shows about
como de zombies, como de The Walking Dead.
like zombies,
The
like
Last
The
of
Walking
Us y
Dead
eso.
and that.
Y ahí son uno que puede imaginar como que debes que estar preparado por cualquier situación,
And you can imagine that you have to be prepared for any situation.
aunque no puede, definitivamente no ocurre porque es ficción.
But of course not because it's fiction.
Pero no podía comprarme una pistola porque era menor de edad, él debía que tener 21 años.
But I couldn't purchase a gun because I was a minor. I had to be 21.
Así que compré un rifle.
So so I bought a rifle.
No further questions.
All right, so are you saying you couldn't purchase a gun at 21, but you could purchase a rifle?
Así es lo legalmente que puedes.
Oh, no.
Yes, that's why you can say that's legally. what
Yeah,
you
no,
can
no,
do.
I know the law. That was sort of a rhetorical question,
Oh, lo siento.
I'm sorry.
you know. So are you currently 21,
No,
still 20?
No.
yes. Sí, no, sí, mi jurado.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. So a lot of people will say sometimes, oh, I've said before, you know how you say, I could just kill that person? And honestly, I don't know anybody who's ever said that about somebody else. So what were you thinking and why would you think this would be a joke?
No quería como hacerle que sí le iba a comentar hacer,
I didn't want to make that comment.
son te diciendo para una reacción así.
It was just to say it for a reaction.
Okay. All right. So I will listen to your arguments, but this is what I want to tell both of you when you give me your argument. So my job as a judge is not like the Minority Report with Tom Cruise. I can't see into the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I know, State, you're asking for 10 years prison for a 20-year-old for threats. And I've seen cases where people have made threats against a single person and people offer them deferred or people offer them probation. And I know that's not you, but I've seen that happen. In this case, State, you're going to be asking me to send a 20-year-old to prison for something that I'm assuming you're doing it because you think, one, that he could end up committing this. But what I see is a 20-year-old, and if I send him to prison, and let's say I send him to prison for 5 years or 10 years, and he does all his time at the prison. So let's say he goes in at the age of 20, he's there for 10 years, he gets out when he's 30, they offer him parole, he says, no, I don't want parole. And so he gets out of prison at 30 years old, and he has no supervision, and he can do whatever he wants to do. Then we're right back here. I personally don't think that solves the problem that we have before me. And I will tell both of you, I've read all the stipulations, I've read everything. And based upon what I'm reading and the fact that he has no criminal history, 10 years is too much time for what he's charged with and for what he potentially was saying he was going to do, but didn't do. And maybe he was going to do it, but he was stopped before doing it. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. What I am thinking of doing is granting his application, keeping him on deferred for 10 years. He will go into custody today because you're going to go to state ISF cognitive if that's available. If it's not available, we're going to see about some type of, I don't know, mental conditioning or something. I would order that he not to have any possession of weapons. He would still remain on GPS. GPS would be full house arrest, then slowly, maybe he can get a job, then slowly lower down the conditions on that. I would have where he's not to appear or not to reside within a certain place of schools, that he would not be allowed to work or go to Amazon. That's what I'm thinking. And if there's a reason why I should not be thinking that, or someone has something potentially to change my mind about that, I'm more than welcome to hear the argument. But either way, he would be going into custody today.
Your Honor, you're much brighter than I am.
Oh, no.
And I appreciate and I respect your decision, and I think that's a good thing for him. I don't think he needs it, but if the court needs it, then I'm okay with it. I've gotten to know this young man over the last 16 months. And I'm gonna get emotional because I've gotten to like him because he really is, thank you. He really is a good young man. He really said something stupid. And it's not too often in my 35 years of being a lawyer that I get emotionally involved in a case. They tell you not to. But when you really believe in someone, when you really believe that they were acting stupid, for this to happen to them, it's like, what did you do to your life, son? And that's how I feel about him. I would have liked to have seen him just walk out with me. I know in my heart that you will never see him again, but I respect your decision and I'm okay with it.
All right. Well, the court's concern is obviously for somebody to even jokingly say this, there's something mental going on. And I don't, if I had a program that was a free program that was available where he goes into a mental facility and they work, they educate, I would send him there, but I don't have that. If somebody has that and they have where it's private or it's free or somebody's willing to pay for it for him, I would reconsider doing that instead of ISF. But I think right now, because part of my job is also to protect the public. And if I had a crystal ball, it would be great because I could say, this is what he's going to do in 3 years. Or if I had a crystal ball and I would say send a 20-year-old to prison. And we all know prison life, even Bear County jail life, is not the best life. He's young, he's thin. We already know what's going to happen at prison, potentially, because everybody can't watch people 24/7.
Right.
And I am wondering, sending him to prison for 10 years, what is that going to do to his psyche? And how is he going to come back out of prison into society? And are we going to have an even bigger problem? So I'm trying to put some safeguards in place and then state if he violates GPS in any way that I'm going to give him, if he doesn't report the way he's supposed to, then the full 10 years is there. I will put in place that there, wherever he lives, if he's living with his parents, there are to be no weapons in the home. And I'm going to put in place sort of similar to sex offender registration, even though this is not a sex case, that he has to give probation all the computer access, phone access, any electronic access, so that they can be aware of what he's looking at and what is happening. I just think in this case, 10 years prison for a 20-year-old. And I realize what could have happened, what may have happened. So that's where I am. And the reason, and I struggle with this case, and I thought about this case from when you all were first here till now about what potentially would be the right decision in this case. And it's a very difficult case. And I know it's a difficult case for the state. And state, I do know why you're asking for the 10 years, because something catastrophic could have happened. So I do understand.
And I respect her for that. And just one more thing, if I may. It's been comforting for me to know that he's been on full house arrest for 16 months. 4 days would be 16 months. He didn't even walk out the front door. And I think that goes to show you that I feel that he's going to be successful in this program. We appreciate what you're doing for him. I just have one question. How long is this going to take? I don't understand. I don't know. Unless
Probation will be able to let you know how long it will take for him to get transferred to state ISF. But again, if you and the state want to confer and there is some sort of inpatient cognitive treatment for him that is not at the state jail or not at the prison, you can let the court know. The court will consider that. But my thing is, he needs to be worked on internally with the mental that's going on. And I see there are some mental health issues, but DDRF and Mick, they say he's not eligible.
Right. I understand your decision, Your Honor, and I do respect that, and I do agree that some sort of inpatient time, if we're not going to send him straight to prison, is appropriate. I'm thinking back to what Mr. Porter had testified last week, that it remains to be seen whether this is someone who's done well on bond because
Yes.
they fixed the problem, or if they're doing well on bond because, as Mr. Osbus had testified, I've been cautious so you won't think I've done something. So I think that we do need as many safeguards as possible if we aren't doing prison, and short of that, to ensure that.
Well, my thing is we're going to do things incrementally. And we will have settings for this to come back to court. Once he's released from inpatient, we can have settings to come back every 60 days, and we can discuss where we are, how he's doing, and do it that way.
One more thing. I keep saying one more thing.
Yes.
I love coming to this court, Your Honor, because you not only think of the public, but you also think of the welfare of the people that are before you. And that's just something that you've earned the respect of all of us in Bear County and anybody else that may know you, that you're just a wonderful lady.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to give these conditions and state if there are any other conditions you think would be helpful, just let me know. So we're going to do 10 years deferred adjudication. There is to be state ISF cognitive, and he's to be taken into custody today for that. Once he's released from state IS cognitive, we will set this, Vashawn, once he's released from state ISF, before he's released from the Bear County Jail, let's have him brought over. Is that possible? Okay, well, let's do this. Once he's released from state ISF, we'll just set it for a hearing in here and we'll call it a compliance hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
So once he's released, we'll do a compliance hearing to maybe fine tune any conditions that we need to fine tune. You're going to have to register all electronic items, and that's going to include the items that your parents have in the home. So if they have cell phones, iPhones, all of that has to be registered. You understand?
Sí, mi jurado.
Yes, Your Honor.
And all computers in the home must be registered. There's to be no contact with Anna Flores or any workers from his Amazon location, because I know people will order off Amazon. So none of the workers from his Amazon location. All right, State, do you think there's anything else he needs at this time?
No, Your Honor, but Miss Ana Flores did mention to me this morning that she would like the no contact order to extend to her family.
Yes.
Based on the concerns that she mentioned earlier.
All right, and there's to be no contact with Anna Flores's family.
And for the record, Your Honor, I'd like to tell Mr. Aceves something. And that includes your family, your mom, your dad, any family members or friends, okay? They cannot contact her at all. Okay?
All right. And then I'll put in here, there's to be no contact with elementary, preschool, junior high, high school. I think they now call it middle school. If he decides that he wants to maybe get his GED or get a college degree, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, there's to be no contact with any schools. All right. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
No, ma'am, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
Sí, mi jurado.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Sí, mi jurado.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So from here on out, everything that you do, you're looking at potentially going to prison for 10 years. Do you understand?
Sí, mi jurado.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I hope that you're going to be thinking about what brought you here. Okay? And it is never funny or a joke to ever talk about harming anyone. You understand? That's not funny.
Sí, sí, mi jurado, en verdad. Antes no lo pensaba así. No, sí se lo tomaba de una broma, pero cuando estuve 16 meses, sí.
Yes, Your Honor. Before I did think it was a joke, but since I've been for 16 months, I've been
Pensando en las vidas humanas y
thinking about human life,
perdonar este.
and I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Humberto Chavez. Yes. Yes, you may. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so welcome. All right. Defense is here for early termination. Do you have an objection?
State subject.
Okay. All right. Do y'all want this on the record or no?
It's up to you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Probation.
Yes, Judge.
Can you tell me how has Mr. Aceves been doing on probation?
Quite well on probation. At this point, we don't have any concerns. He's always shown to be respectful in every office visit. He's always been forthcoming and respectful during any field visit. Has no issues with presenting his phone if we need to check his phone, us entering the residence, going through his things in his room. He's not posed any problems there. All of his UAs have been negative. He's up to date with all of his fees and he's completed all of his classes. I did reach out to his officer to see what his thoughts were and concerns to the motion from early termination based on defense counsel. And his officer has absolutely no issues with early termination.
All right, thank you. And State, since you're silent, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. I cannot believe, right? Now, and when I say I cannot believe, what I mean by that is, I remember when you were first before me, young, super young. He looked super young. Time really goes by quickly. And I know since you've been to court, you've had some tragedy happen in your life, but you were able to handle it and talk to people. So how you been doing? How's life been treating you?
Yes, pretty well. The job Johnny Cisneros presented me, it's been pretty good. They turned me pretty good on the job. I have a great supervisor, and I pretty love working over there. And also, I'm very thankful that I stay up with my family and try to help my mother financially, and well, also taking care of my sister and my cousin that is living with us. Try to help them when my mother's not there for work and all that.
I'm so proud of you. You've done great work. I'm so glad that you completed everything. And I know there was the GPS issue, but it really wasn't an issue. It was just paperwork that hadn't been there. So you've never violated any terms of your
one thing.
probation. You were, it is so good for you that this was your attorney. And I say that other attorneys, maybe they would have done the same thing, but he was your attorney, but also a mentor to help you get employment and help you throughout this process. So I remember the first day you came in, and now you're doing great. So I want you to keep up the good work. I'm still here. And if I'm still here, you can always come back if there are some issues, okay?
Yes, sir.
But Attorney Cisneros, anything you want to say about it?
I just want to express how proud I am of this young man. I believed him from day one. The first interview I had with him is like, this young man didn't mean to say what he said. And I relayed that to you, I remember. And then you were going to put him as a condition of deferred, you were going to put him in jail for a while. And then there was an issue back there where some inmates were threatening to beat him up and things like that. And I remember I had just gotten home and I changed clothes, and you called me, Mr. Cisneros, you need to come over here. We have an issue with Mr. Aceves, and I was kidding with you, of course, like I always do. Judge, I have to go rent a new suit now. And I told you that. And I came over here, and you believed my story, and because it was sincere and it was true. And here we are. I mean, he had a hard time getting a job because of the charge and everything like that. And I told him, son, I think I can get you a job, but my name's going to be behind my word. And my word, I think, is always good. So you better not let me down. And sure enough, he got a job, and they've given him promotions. They've given him pay raises, and they're very proud of him there. In fact, I went to his place of employment 2 weeks ago to have lunch with the owner and another friend of mine that works there. And they were telling me how proud they are of him and everything. So I hope that the court does allow him to terminate early. And by the way, I have Miss Lauren Dillon with me.
You have a great mentor.
So
I do.
Yes, he is so awesome.
thank you.
All right, thank you. So do you want to still be on probation where you can still visit your officer? Or see, I've done a little catch-22 with him. But no, I'm going to grant your application for early termination, and you've done fabulous work. And when I place people on probation, I always tell them I don't like sending people to prison. I take no joy in that. I'm hoping they'll be rehabilitated when they're on probation, go forth, live their life, do great things. So I'm excited for you and the future is bright.
Thank you so much, Yoni.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right.
One
you're
more
welcome.
thing. When he was here, when we were here first, he looked like a young boy.
Mhm.
And now he looks like, well, he is a young man.
Yes.
And I saw him the other day and he looks so buff and I said, golly, I can't beat your arm wrestling anymore. So I'm very proud of him. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Well, congratulations. Once they give me the application to, oh, she's bringing it now. All right, congratulations.
If I can say, I think it will be a great surprise to my mother as a present because today is her birthday too.
Oh, I said happy
awesome.
birth month until I said happy Black History Month because it's in the month of February.
Yeah.
All right,
I
well, you-
wish his, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
I wish his father was alive to see this. His
Yeah.
father believed in me
Mhm.
and oh my God, I wish he was here with us.
Well, you know what? He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Go, Johnny. And Johnny, don't
I
make
get
me cry.
emotional with my clients.
I know you
I
do.
give my whole heart to them, man.
Yeah.
And some of them follow my advice and some don't. And